what you have to do is you have to look at past cycles of Bitcoin, right? And was in 2017, did in a month it go from 20,000 to 3,500? No, it took about a year.
Yeah.
So you have to say to yourself, okay, well, if you're making this massive corrective move, chances are it's going to follow past cycles. And that's exactly what it did. So, I mean, I think that's the important thing, is that you have to have realistic expectations. And the charts tell you that, right? I mean, the charts told me that if you looked at past cycles, 2013, 2017, it took 8 to 12 months to reach that key level. And that's exactly what this cycle in Bitcoin did. So it really no surprise there. I mean, yes, partially luck, sure, we can throw it out there too, but at the same time, I've made enough calls in my career where I'd like to think it's not all luck.
Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, Chief Market Strategist in themoneystocks.com, Gareth Soloway, updates about his Bitcoin outlook in 2022, his past predictions about Bitcoin, stocks, and gold, and the future of cryptocurrencies. Gareth Soloway also shares his golden secrets for all the new traders and investors, and the biggest lessons that he's learned throughout his career. Make sure to stick around to the end of this video, where Gareth Soloway reveals the best strategies to use Bitcoin charts to figure out the next moves in the crypto market. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications. So without wasting any more time, let's dive right into the video.
From an analyst point of view, you're just looking at the charts, you're looking at the numbers, you don't really understand that stock to be able to trade it. Why should we trust you with our money?
Great question. And the answer is that you're not trading companies when you trade them. I mean, I know that sounds so weird. What you're trading is human emotion based on what people think of that. And so if you can the charts represent that, right? So, I mean, it doesn't matter how much cash is on the balance sheet, what they're making. PE ratios on stocks are nonsense because it's always backward looking anyways. It's like, oh yeah, they made $10 last year, but if we're in a recession or depression, what are they going to make this year? And then how much money is in the system, and we know the Fed's been pulling money out, is there left to invest anyways? So to be honest, financials mean almost nothing to me. Maybe for like a small cap, I'll pay attention because you want to know they're not going bankrupt tomorrow, but I don't trade many small caps anymore. But yeah, I mean, it really comes down to just the charts are everything. Everything is in the charts. Institutional money, you can see money flow in the charts. You can see volume patterns and price patterns. And again, patterns and setups, it's something that you could go back hundreds of years and you could actually see these same patterns playing out, which is why we know they're high probabilities. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome stuff, and it's really eye-opening information.
The crypto market has been experiencing some positive trends, with multiple cryptocurrencies showing promising bounce-back figures over the last couple of weeks. Optimism first swept through the crypto community when Bitcoin broke the $20,000 barrier after staying at the lows for a lengthy period of time, with the top crypto analysts identifying a bullish pattern for the top crypto coins and an unprecedented rally for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Many crypto enthusiasts are focusing their efforts on these two cryptos. Bitcoin miners now are more Bitcoin than at any time since 2020, as the impact of the past month's turbulence starts to wear off. And according to data from on-chain analytics firm CryptoQuant, miners' Bitcoin holdings increased dramatically in July. In the latest sign of miners recovering from recent price weakness, the amount of Bitcoin in their wallets has hit a fresh multi-year high, as originally noted by CryptoQuant contributor and analyst Jan Woostenveld, and their combined balance totaled 1,865,272 Bitcoin tokens as of July 29th. The start of August saw a slight decline, with the total as of August 3rd being 1,864,842.
I've made every mistake in the book, and you can avoid them and then ultimately get to the profitable point much, much quicker, right? So every trader or investor that starts is going to make mistakes. It's just natural. We're dealing with shark-infested waters, meaning that there's algorithms, there's institutions, there's really good traders in there. And so you have to get to that point of being able to compete and ultimately beat them. And it takes a lot of mistakes. And the goal is that through these educational courses, I've revealed my mistakes and then how I've learned, and basically all the tidbits of knowledge from discipline to emotional control to human psychology to charting that basically puts us in a position to skip and bypass a lot of the mistakes most people will make and get to profitability as quickly as possible. I think you have to really just reset. Yeah. Because it's not about, I mean, in a bull market, and we've seen so many bull markets in stocks and in crypto, it's about thinking that, oh, this is the easiest thing in the world. Look at my account just go up exponentially. And it's not like that. And if you're going to be a trader that makes money in bull and bear markets and not losing all your money when the bull market's over, you have to learn how to read charts. Charts are, people think I'm crazy when I say this, but the charts are literally the purest truth that we will ever find. Because if you listen to someone saying something, there could be a bias there. If you go to Twitter, there's a bias. Even if you go to news, right, there's a bias. But the charts don't lie. It's telling you what is there. I always say that a chart is like a book in a foreign language, right? So let's say it's, Chinese for me. I don't know how to read Chinese. But when you learn how to read the charts, all of a sudden you can start reading it, and the charts will tell you what to do, or at least what the most high probable outcome will be. And that's everything, right?
Miners struggled as Bitcoin fell to its lowest since December 2020, subsequently recovering around 38% from a 17,600 floor. Their problems were clearly visible in network fundamentals, with both hash rate and difficulty declining to reflect decreasing miner participation.
Problem with fundamental analysis is that it makes sense in certain markets, and then in other markets, it doesn't. And the reason it doesn't is because markets are ruled by two things, greed and fear. Right? We saw greed on the way up and then fear and panic on the way down. And so you look at like the PE of a stock, right? And you say, oh, well, in this market, it's a 40 PE. Well, guess what? Now we're in a bear market and it's now a 20 PE. So how did that make sense, right? So, but the charts will tell you when you look at a chart and it's gone vertical and it's gone up 100% or 200%, there's something missing there. There's a certain type of market environment that's causing that, and you never want to be someone that's buying up at those levels. So the technicals will tell you that. The greatest example recently was Exxon, right? Oil was up above $120. Exxon was like nearing all-time highs, and everyone was bullish. The media was saying $150, $200 a barrel, and I'm looking at the Exxon chart, and it's like it's gone vertical. So it's extended, the metrics, the RSI, all that stuff is extended. And then it's at a double top from 2014. And if you're a technician, you're like, wait a minute, that's a short. Double tops you short. And so I shorted it. And then obviously we've seen, oil come all the way back down.
Other metrics are also pointing to the light at the end of the tunnel for miners. Last week, numbers suggested that miners' capitulation phase could be over as soon as August, should price action continue to stabilize higher. According to CryptoQuant, since the June events, miners have sent a maximum of 927 Bitcoin to exchanges in a day.
Traders and investors, there's a lot of people that say TA doesn't work, right? And the key is what they don't understand is that a good trader never has a bias on a kind of an emotional side.
Right.
And so every day that there's a new chart, a new candle forming, right? So you get a daily candle, daily candle, daily candle. Every day is a new piece of a puzzle. And like yesterday, you would have said, oh, that's a bullish chart. Well, today it might be, instead of 80% bullish, maybe it's only 70%, maybe it's 40%. And you have to, as a trader, the best traders in the world are flexible, unbiased, and again, robotic. It's just, it is what it is, and it's your job as an investor and trader to take that and decide, is it worth being in this trade? Is it worth getting out? Is it worth increasing the position based on what I'm seeing? You have to be able to do that. And again, people have to realize that it's all probabilities. There's no guarantees in any trading. It's about putting the probabilities and basically being, do you go gamble, David?
Of course.
All right. Gamble every day, right?
Not every day. Not every day with life. Yeah.
But basically, the best analogy is you need to be the house of the casino, right? You don't want to be the gambler who, you might win on occasion. You go to the casino, you walk out with some money, but the house is the one that they could have 1,000 people come in. Yeah, maybe some of them will leave making money, but a majority, they'll always end up, the house always wins, right? And that's what you need to be. So you will have to understand you're going to take a couple losses. Some gamblers will come in and take your money from the casino, but overall, you're the one that's kind of just consistently making money. And that's probabilities. And I think macro, for instance, how the Fed is handling things and what they're doing, you have to be able to look like 3 steps ahead, right? And I think that's another issue that I cover in these educational courses is not taking a news story as like the news story. People are always saying to me like, oh, there was an African country and it was a news story that they just discovered, 20 million trillion ounces of gold. And I'm like, well, you could believe that, but then if that was true, wouldn't you think gold price was collapsing? And it hasn't even budged, right? So you have to like look at these type of things and kind of think through it. You just don't want to take anything at face value. Right. And when it comes to economic news, remember that the institutions already know the number that's coming out. Let's be fair. And that they're already thinking 3 steps ahead. So when you look at like a CPI or PPI print, they're already saying, okay, well, we can see commodities collapsing. So yes, it's high, but we're going to start buying the market because it's coming down.
So do you agree with Gareth that Bitcoin charts can tell us a lot about its price run? Let us know what you think in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you soon with the next video, and thanks so much for watching.